they're lining up, getting ready to run.
Good evening. Would everyone please remain standing and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic of the nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for a moment of silence.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good evening. My name is Phil Rogers, and it is my honor to welcome you tonight to the graduation ceremony for the South Gibson County High School's class of 2021. I would like to extend a special welcome to the Director of Schools, Mr. Eddie Pruitt, both present and past school board members, our SGC faculty, staff, family, and friends. A very special welcome home is extended tonight for our South Gibson County High School alumni. And finally, please welcome all Gibson High School and Medina High School alumni who are present with us tonight. It is because of your support and vision that SGC became a reality. 4 short years ago, I welcomed our graduates to SGC as the freshman class. Tonight you gather as a class, together for one final time before you move on to your next beginnings, whatever those may be. You leave SGC with many successes to your credit. You also leave with some challenges that you've had to overcome. Hopefully your next beginning will find you prepared to make smart choices and continue to grow in your new and exciting surroundings. So welcome to your new beginning and new opportunities that will hopefully allow you to continue to practice the qualities of being SGC, steadfast, gracious, and conscientious. At this time, would you please stand for the playing of our alma mater?
You may be seated. Good evening. My name is Mark Dunn, Assistant Principal of South Gibson County High School. Tonight, as we gather to honor and celebrate the many unique achievements of the 10th graduating class of South Gibson County, I ask that everyone in attendance, both students and family alike, join me in the commitment to maintain the dignity and decorum of this momentous occasion. The ceremony has been planned to reflect the pride, appreciation, and respect for the accomplishments of each individual graduating senior. In an effort to make this night special, we ask that all of those in attendance to please respect the following. At this time, we ask that you please silence all cell phones and electronic devices. Should it become necessary for you to speak on your phone, please politely excuse yourself from the ceremony and in an effort not to disturb others. While this is a time of celebration, we ask that you refrain from any inappropriate outbursts or disturbances during the ceremony, especially as the names of the graduates are read. This will allow all spectators to be able to clearly hear their student's name announced. Likewise, students, we ask that you continue to conduct yourselves in a manner that will reflect the dignity and respect towards you, your classmates, and your family, as you and all others that are here to be recognized and honored for your achievements. Realizing the desire for family and friends to take photographs and/or videos of their student during ceremony, SGC has arranged for a professional photograph and video to be taken of the ceremony and each individual graduating senior as a diploma is being received. Order forms were provided to each student as a method of requesting and paying for this photograph and/or video. We ask that no one enter onto the field to take pictures or videos during the ceremony. Finally, we ask each one here tonight to embrace the splendor of tonight's celebration. As we have done on so many times during our years at SGC, let's make tonight one to remember. Thank you. At this time, we would like to announce and introduce the 2021 South Gibson County High salutatorian, Miss Kaylee Michael.
Good evening, classmates, family, and friends. Firstly, I would like to congratulate all of my fellow graduates on our hard work. While we have all had our own unique course schedules, high school is not meant to be a walk in the park. In fact, it seems that days of kickball tournaments and tug-of-war competitions at the park right across the street have been long gone and replaced by AP tests and finals weeks. Just as we looked fondly on our days at the middle school when we left the 8th grade, I'd like to reflect with you all on our days spent together in this building and look forward to all of our futures, whether they involve college, the workforce, or the military. If I could sum up everything that I want to share with you today, it would be in the phrase, everything goes. For those of you that don't know me personally, I have been through a lifetime of hardships in my mere 18 years of life. I was diagnosed with juvenile idiopathic arthritis at the age of 3 and fibromyalgia at 17, and cancer left me living in a single-parent household that consists of just my mother and I at the age of 9. Without my faith in God and hope in the phrase, everything goes, I'm not sure what my life would look like now. With these two anchors, I've been able to carry on and fight life despite everything that has been thrown in my path. I believe the phrase, everything goes, can be applied to today's celebration as well in several ways. Perhaps these past 4 years have passed by quickly or slowly for you all, but regardless, we are now at the end of what was our everything for the past 4 years. Being a band member and having taken 5 AP courses over my time here made it seem like graduation would never come in the moment because of how much of my time they took. But I now stand here in disbelief of how long ago some of my cherished high school memories happened. My first day of AP Human Geography, where we peeled tangerines, and one of my last days in that class, where Mr. Painter performed a one-man show, are each memories that are over 3 years old. The smell of coffee as I would walk into Mr. Duffy's room hasn't hit my senses in over 2 years. It's also been over a year since I've tried out to be the clarinet section leader. In this once seemingly short time that has passed, we've had several low points. COVID is an obvious one, but frankly, I'm sure none of us will miss the sound of the bell telling us to go to our next class that we haven't quite done that one thing for yet, or the blaring of the fire alarms during drills that coincidentally were planned for days with temperatures of negative 1,000 degrees. Let's also not forget standing out in the blazing sun on the day of the eclipse our freshman year. If you're one of the people that shared your water bottle on that day, you're definitely a real one. We won't miss having to be here at 7:55 in the mornings, and we won't miss having our parking spots taken when we were already running late. But hey, these days are behind us now. No more shall we suffer the stress of forgetting our calculators for a state test, and we no longer have to worry about bringing a wooden number 2 pencil for the ACT. I will admit that I was almost always the person that forgot the pencils had to be wooden, despite having taken the ACT since 7th grade, and I suppose that was one lesson that I never learned. However, we also have some really fond memories that we will miss. I already miss marching under all of the field lights with the rest of my 100-plus member family. Winning 3rd place at Bandmaster's junior year will forever be a bragging right that I will hold on to. The celebrations of my other fellow classmates as we would send them off to their district and state games also brought about a cherished sense of unity. I'll miss reading Shakespeare, especially with my dear friend that certainly did Juliet justice in Miss Duck's class freshman year. He knows who he is. Prom is also a staple, unforgettable memory that we will have of high school. Everyone has their own favorite memories, but I know that we all shared the same feeling of happiness and our own unique experiences over these past 4 years. As we leave this stadium tonight, there is a guarantee that we can count on. We will have trials. I encourage you with the phrase of everything goes to remember that nothing on this earth will last forever. If you find yourself in a rough patch when adjusting to whatever comes after tonight, remember my words. Everything goes, I promise. You have been strong enough to endure thus far, and you are certainly strong enough to handle whatever is ahead of you. Nothing that we're thrown in life is going to be something that we can't handle. So take comfort in the facts that you truly are strong enough, and everything goes. Looking forward to what we have ahead of us, none of us have the same future, but all have the power to make it whatever we desire. I encourage you to be mindful of what's important to you in this next chapter of our lives, and stay present in whatever situation you might find yourself in. We've seen that time passes quicker when we are looking backwards, so be present, be active, be mindful. Don't be so focused on the past or the future that you stumble over what's right in front of you. Just like these past 4 years, everything in life goes, so remember to cherish what you have and live in the moment. In closing, I would like to thank all of the family and friends for support. The teachers have also had a monumental impact on our time here, so I'd like to thank all of you. I'd also like to thank my fellow classmates for accepting me into this group since 4th grade. It's been a wild ride, and I wouldn't have it any differently. Lastly, shout out to my friend who printed out this speech for me since my printer has been broken since the first semester of freshman year. Woo! I wish you all the best. Love you all. Thank you.
Good evening. At this time, I would like to introduce the 2021 South Gibson County High School valedictorian, Miss Anna White.
Good evening. First, I would like to thank the family and friends who are here tonight. We are so glad you could be here to celebrate our graduation with us, and we are grateful for your support. I also want to thank our teachers because without them, none of us would be here tonight. They have done so much for us over the past 4 years, and we want them to know that we appreciate them. Now, to my fellow graduates, thank you for making my high school experience great. I've made such good friends at SGC, and it's hard to believe that it's time to say goodbye. I will always cherish the memories of my time here, and I hope you will as well. Even though our senior year wasn't what we expected, I'm thankful that we were able to persevere through it and still have a great time. This past year has been filled with challenges and uncertainty. We've had to adapt to masks, social distancing, quarantining. At times, we wondered if life would ever get back to normal and if the world would ever look the same. But even though the COVID pandemic may finally be drawing to a close, we will still face uncertainty in our lives. Will we be able to pay off our student loans? Should we stay in this area or move away? Will we be able to find a job that can support us financially? Or are we just going to live in our parents' basement forever? No matter how uncertain or daunting our circumstances may seem, I believe that our response should remain the same. We should always strive to love others, stay faithful, work hard, be ourselves, and have fun. Love others. As human beings, this is one of the most important things we can do. We should treat everyone with kindness and respect, regardless of our differences, and we should seek to serve instead of being served. In John chapter 13, Jesus says this, "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also are to love one another. By this, all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." A great example of this is Morgan Lytle. Morgan is one of the nicest people at our school. Rather than getting bogged down in her own situations, she is always reaching out to others, praying for them, or offering words of encouragement. The world needs more people like Morgan. The kind of person who puts the needs of others before themselves is the kind of person we should all aspire to be. Stay faithful. As we graduate and enter the real world, we are going to be faced with a lot of new influences, some good and some not. In all the excitement and newness, it could be easy to let our guard down and compromise our beliefs. The Bible warns us not to do this. Rather than being tossed to and fro by the waves and carried about by every wind of doctrine, we should stand firm in what we know is right. But this principle can also be applied in other areas of our lives. For example, as most of you know, Dhruv Patel's family is from India. Being born in the United States, Dhruv doesn't have a personal connection to India, and it would be easy for him to abandon his family's culture. However, Dhruv has instead made the decision to keep his family's traditions alive. The world needs more people like Dhruv. Don't be swayed. Be open to other points of view, but stand firm in what you know is right. Work hard. This is something we've heard all too often over the past 4 years, but it is one of the most important keys to success. Unfortunately, the saying is true. There is no substitute for hard work. Even when we're tired, even when we think we've done enough, and even when it feels like we have nothing left to give, we have to keep going because it is the only way we will achieve our goals. An example of this is Mason Terry. In the week leading up to an art show, it is not uncommon to find Mason working on his paintings for hours at a time. His art doesn't always win first place, but he never gives up. He keeps working and improving his skills so that he will have something even better to enter next year. Now, Mason is one of the best artists at our school. I never thought I'd say it, but the world needs more people like Mason. Keep working toward your goals and never stop until you achieve them. Be yourself. In the age of social media, it can be easy to buy into trends and follow the crowd. But why fit in when you were born to stand out? We'll never be truly happy if we spend all our time trying to be someone we're not. Plus, nothing new is ever accomplished by staying the same. Someone had to be the first to propose that radical idea, to wear that ridiculous outfit, or to change the status quo. People may judge you, but it's your choice whether or not to listen to them. An example of this is Elizabeth McDaniel. Those of you who know Izzy know that she is a great writer and clarinet player, but you also know that she is unapologetically herself. She doesn't let other people's opinions affect her actions or her sense of style. The world needs more people like Izzy. Stay true to yourself and don't be afraid to stand apart from the crowd. Have fun. No matter how stressful or exhausting our circumstances may be, we should always make time to relax and connect with those around us. During challenging times, it can be all too easy to neglect our relationships and our own well-being. But we must be careful not to get so bogged down in the negative that we forget to see the positive. I think that we are all examples of this. Over the past year, it would have been easy to get caught up in all the things we couldn't do, but we instead chose to focus on what we could do. We may have had to wear masks and social distance, but we could still attend sporting events, hang out with friends at the park, order takeout from La Coretta, and have a positive attitude. Dare I say it, the world needs more people like us. We may have been limited in what we could do this year, but we had a great time doing it. Continue to look for silver linings, and above all, enjoy every moment. As we graduate, our futures are wide open. There really is no limit to what we might achieve. But no matter where you go from here, I hope you'll remember these 5 things. Love others, stay faithful, work hard, be yourself, and have fun. We may not be able to choose our circumstances, but we can choose how we react to them. Thank you.
At this time, we would like to recognize Mrs. Chastity Reasons, who was selected by her colleagues as our 2021 Teacher of the Year. Ms. Reasons has served as a teacher at SGC since 2009. At this time, Ms. Reasons will present the academic accolades.
As we have heard throughout the course of our ceremony tonight, the class of 2021 is a special group of graduates. They have set high standards for future classes in the areas of academic achievement and service to our community. And while these students have received many accolades and awards, tonight it is my honor to recognize 6 group of seniors who have demonstrated academic excellence and contributed many hours of valuable community service. The prestigious Hornet Scholar distinction is attained by reaching a combined 1,700 points out of a possible 2,000 that is obtained with a formula that weighs the ACT composite score and GPA calculation equally. Students, as I call your name, please stand and remain standing so that we may recognize this significant accomplishment. Please hold your applause until all names have been called. Our Hornet Scholar graduates are Ashlyn Attaway, McKenna Beaver, Sarah Bowles, Briley Bone, Shelby Braffa, Jacob Bryant, Haley Cannon, Erica Carpenter, Maddie Cooper, Sam Cruz, Heidi Crutchfield, Maria Cunningham, Reagan Echtenkamp, Alyssa Farley, Brandon Gascoigne, Madison Goodman, Maddie Harris, Garrett Hastings, Leah Howe, Jamie Johns, Elizabeth McDaniel, Kaylee Michael, Briley Petty, Lindley Puckett, Avery Rainey, Caleb Robbins, Sam Rogers, Eli Scott, Jacob Smith, Mason Terry, Riley Thomas, Dewey Tran, Anna White, Benjamin Whitnell, Addie Whittemore. Please join me in congratulating these students for their outstanding academic achievement. Next, we will be recognizing those students that are graduating with state honors. In order to graduate with state honors, students must score at or above all 4 of the subject area readiness benchmarks on the ACT. The ACT benchmark scores are as follows: English 18, Math 22, Science 23, and Reading 22. Students graduating with state honors, please stand and be recognized at this time. Please join me in congratulating these students for meeting all 4 ACT benchmarks. At this time, we will recognize those students who are graduating with state distinction. In order to graduate with state distinction, students must earn a B average of 85 or higher and complete or attain at least one of the following: earn a national or state recognized industry certification, participate in at least one of the governor schools, participate in one of the state's all-state musical organizations, earn statewide recognition or an award at a skill or knowledge-based state tournament, convention, or competition hosted by a statewide student organization, and or qualify for a national recognition by a national student organization, be selected as a national merit finalist or semifinalist, attain a score of a 31 or higher composite score on the ACT, attain a score of 3 or higher on at least 2 advanced placement exams, earn 12 or more semester hours of prescribed post-secondary credit. Students, please stand and be recognized at this time. Our next recognition is for Tennessee Tri-Star Scholar. The Tennessee Tri-Star Scholar is a student who earns a composite score of 19 or higher on their ACT and earns a capstone industry certification as promoted by the Department of Education. Students, please stand and be recognized at this time. The next academic accolade is a Worth Ethic Certificate. The criteria for earning a Worth Ethic Certificate was developed through a partnership between school districts and industries in Northwest Tennessee. Students receiving this certificate have shown they possess certain skills which have been prioritized by local industries as necessary for employment. The names of students who have met the criteria needed to receive the Worth Ethic Certificate will be shared with partner industries as qualified candidates for possible employment. Students, please stand and be recognized at this time. Finally, the Tennessee Scholars Program was created by the Tennessee Chamber of Commerce to help and encourage and motivate high school students to prepare for the ever-changing workforce and become more involved in their community by completing 10 hours of community service per semester for a total of 80 hours of community service. Additionally, students must earn 2 credits in specified courses, maintain a C average or higher. Students must be in attendance 95% over the 4 years of high school, and the student must not have any out-of-school suspensions. Students, thank you for your commitment and valuable service to our community. Please stand and be recognized at this time.
Mr. Rogers, I proudly present to you the class of 2021. These students have met the requirements as set forth by the state of Tennessee for completion of their high school instruction. As such, I now request we confer them their high school diplomas. Anna Bailey White. Kaylee Marie Michael. Ashlyn Brooke Attaway. McKenna Claire Beaver. Sarah Jocelyn Bowles. Briley Addison Bone. Shelby Pate Brafa. Jacob Riley Bryant. Haley Marie Cannon. Erica Deanne Carpenter. Madeline Claire Cooper. Samantha Lee Cruz. Heidi Rebecca Grace Crutchfield. Maria Faith Cunningham. Reagan Nicole Echtenkamp. Alyssa Lauren Farley. Brandon Michael Gascoigne. Madison McCall Goodman. Madeline Elizabeth Harris. Garrett Russell Hastings. Leah Claire Howe. Jamie Elizabeth Johns. Elizabeth Ann McDaniel. Briley Kate Petty. Lindley Brooke Puckett. Avery Elizabeth Rainey. Caleb William Robbins. Samuel Thomas Jean Rogers. Elijah Thomas Scott. Jacob Tyler Smith. Mason Lane Terry. Riley Vaughn Thomas. Benjamin Grant Whitnell. Addison Grace Whittemore. Felicia Colleen Atkinson. Dakota Lynn Austin. Haley Grace Austin. Nicholas Kevin Barnett. Larry Wayne Barrett. Jacob Ryan Bedwell. Lucas Paul Bland. Charles Keegan Brewer. Kathleen Elizabeth Brown. Joseph Dylan Carpenter. Amanda Renee Cassidy. Joseph Chase Chambliss. Madison Avery Chicantic. Jaquaniah Kishana Claybrook. Eli William Collier. Holly Michelle Calissi. Jackson Brady Cooper. Elizabeth Marie Cowden. Robert John Cowden. Nicholas Ryan Crane. Caleb Lee Crocker. Lillian Francis Crossett. Avery Thomas Curtis. Jacob Glenn Dabbs. Chloe Grace Davis. Keaton Miller Davis. Presley Kaiser Dean. Ethan Thomas Dover. Aaron Michelle Dunphy. Megan Elise Emerson. Grayson Yule Epperson. Robert Drake Finch. Grady Parker Flack. Gracie Elizabeth Flowers. William Bryce Fonville. Alexia Michelle Friend. Gada Muhammad Gad. Colin Reed Gall. Autumn Kara Gaden. Jonathan Eli Gaden. Lorelei Grace Gilly. Caleb Matthew Glidewell. Alyssa Paige Gunn. Avery Faye Hall. Jacob Chandler Hardison. Brooklyn Nicole Hardwick. Emily Faith Hawk. Joel Richard Henry. Jacob Benjamin Hensley.
Addison Ray Hill. Haley Elizabeth Hill. Christopher Cody Hopkins. Carson Van Riley Eichert. Landon Carter Johnson. Lauren Olivia Johnson. Tristan Scott Kessinger. Landon Michael Lambert. Matthew Lee Blake Leslie. Robert Connor Lewis. William Logan Lindley. Emily Nicole Lynn. Kayla Michelle Loins. Riley Noel Lynch. Morgan Autumn Lytle. William Brady Maiden. Amari Diamante Mayerble. Alexis Ray McCarthy. Mason Avery McDaniel. Case Reed McFarland. Angel Deshana McGoy. Ashley Nicole McNabb. Kaylee Ray Melder. Jacob Eason Mooney. Kisden Amberlynn Moore. Sadie Danielle Nelson. Tyler Austin Nix. Annabelle Marie Nolan. Paris Marie Odell. Cody Jace Owens. Olivia Caitlin Page. Travis Michael Parker. Wesley David Parker. Luke Michael Pascal. Dear Praveen Patel. Drew Vasant Patel. Nikita Jatindra Patel. Sean Minish Patel. Brittany Nicole Pellegrin. Jacob Neil Pennington. Nikki Michelle Petty. Thomas Trey Piercy. Kennedy Elise Powell. Carson Grant Presgrove. Dylan James Pritchard. Brody Gunnar Putman. Janan Zied Kadat. Orion Andrew Reese. Luke Aiden Reed. Kirsten Lane Riddle. Emily Grace Roberts. Lane Harrison Rowe. Leah Marie Rowe. Maria Camille Rogers. Angelina Marie Rojas. Kaylee Joyce Ross. Logan Christopher Russell. Philip Trey Russell. Alize Marie Schexneider. Ava Maria Sherritt. Taha Kareem Shahada. Sarah Elizabeth Shearer. Brant Mason Harville Sloan. Maya Starr Smith. Peyton Nicole Spencer. Hannah Nicole Talley. Seth Michael Tesla. Ashlyn Brooke Thomas. Devin Andrew Thompson. Richard Wesley Thompson. Brittany Nicole Trinham. Laura Ashley Walker. Jacob Paul Weatherford. Jacob Samuel White. Jacob Zach Wilhite. Brandon Tyler Williams. Spencer Cole Williams. Andrew James Wilson. Nathaniel Graham Wood. Tucker Wyman Woolley. Bryson Scott Wyatt. Haley Brianne Young.
This time, I would like to recognize all members of the SGCHS staff. If you would, please stand. I would like to say thank you for your commitment to excellence, your passion and knowledge for teaching, your love for our students, and the caring, nurturing spirit that you bring to SGC each day. May each of you continue to be blessed for what you do for South Gibson County High School. Students, parents, and guests, please join me in applauding this remarkable group of individuals. Good evening. I am very grateful that we're at a different place in our world tonight than we were in March of your junior year. You as a group left school on March 16, 2020, and have never experienced a normal school since. The challenges, changes, compromises, losses, and adjustments that had to be made have been monumental. As I have tried to make sense of the last 14 months, I choose to focus on lessons learned more than on things lost. Many of those lessons were learned from you, the SGC class of 2021. Your senior year began with nothing known or confirmed, nothing that you could count on. We all know the things you missed, and the list is extensive. But what about the things we learned? We learned that we what we did one day might change the next day. We learned that we could successfully do difficult things. We wore masks all day, every day. Our teachers taught in masks all day, every day. And we learned. We learned how to travel our building in a different way, and it worked. We learned that we could be in school one day and quarantined at home for the next 14 days. We also learned that we could figure out digital learning and that some students never came back to school after March, and they did well. We also learned that digital learning wasn't for everyone. We are actually glad that you had that experience and learned that about yourself before you left the safety of high school. We learned that even in the chaos of COVID, you found a way to stay connected with your friends. I personally also confirm what I've already known about our faculty and staff. They missed you deeply when we weren't in school. COVID threw us a huge curveball, but we figured out how to navigate it, and here we are tonight to celebrate your graduation. Tonight, one path ends and another begins. One thing about the path that's ending tonight is certain. For the last 13 years or so, you've all been on the same general and required path that would lead you here, your high school graduation. Of course, you had different experiences and your paths didn't always look the same, but they all led to the same destination. At this point tonight, some of you may know exactly where your new path will lead you, while others are not quite sure of their next destination or how they will get there. And that's okay. Maybe you'll travel the path to a new job. Maybe your path will lead you to the military. Maybe the path you find yourself on will lead you to travel the world. The college path may be for some of you, while others may choose to take the path that leads to marriage and family. You no longer have a common destination as you've had for most of your life, and now the choices are yours. As you all leave here tonight and prepare yourselves for your next chosen path, I'd like to share one piece of wisdom with you. I know most everyone here will be able to relate to what I'm about to say, and if you entered our parking lot through the entrance by the practice field, you've no doubt experienced it firsthand. No matter where your path leads, watch out for the potholes. Nothing can mess up a path like a pothole. But with a few simple skills, they don't have to cancel your trip. Here are a few facts about potholes. Potholes are nuisances, and they slow us down. If you leave a pothole unattended, it just gets worse. And most importantly, no matter how hard you try, you can't dodge them all. When you encounter a pothole, if you're lucky, you'll have time to make a decision. You can either hit it, drive over it, or you can navigate around it. You will encounter potholes just by living your life, again, no matter what path you choose. Life's potholes, just like potholes in the roads and parking lots, have a lot of different shapes and sizes. They may look like situations such as a health scare, think COVID. They might look like a lost job or an argument. They may look like a really difficult class that pushes you to your academic limits. Life's potholes may look like qualities or characteristics like procrastination or lack of confidence, or maybe being overly confident. It may look like shyness, and it could be also the look of an overachiever. Life's potholes slow us down. We can do our best to dodge them, but at some point, we're going to have to deal with some. If you hit it, the damage could be minimal, like your spilled iced coffee or your cell phone being thrown off the seat into the floorboard. But the damage can also affect your overall structure and appearance, like knocking your tires out of alignment or sending a hubcap rolling across your path and landing in a ditch. Unfortunately, some potholes cause major damage, like blowing a tire, losing control of your vehicle, and stopping your journey in its tracks. And ironically, sometimes hitting it straight on is the best and safest decision you have at the time. Listen to this part closely. Don't ignore the pothole. If you can repair it, do so for yourself and others who are coming behind you. Some of life's potholes are within your power to change, especially if there are decisions that you've made. If you can't repair it, then learn to pivot. Make a change in your direction while you stay on your chosen path. And finally, in some cases, you can detour. Sidestep a little, but return to your path at a point that is beyond the pothole. Much like the lessons we learned over the past year and a half, I like to think of potholes as possibilities. They require you to take some kind of action. When you hit one head on, you'll have some work to do. Just maybe when you address the damage the pothole did, you will come out of it stronger and better before you actually hit it. If you pivot, you stop, keep one foot on the ground, and turn. You just might see your path in a way you wouldn't have seen it if you had turned in a different direction. Be aware of all the possibilities along your path. And finally, if you detour, look for the things that you would never have seen otherwise. You may find a whole new career, or friend group, or skill that can change your life. Many times, detours are the gifts that your planned paths will never provide. So SGC Class of 2021, as your path ends here tonight, and you leave us to head down your own new path, remember this simple advice. Potholes create possibilities. Pave it, pivot, or plan to detour and enjoy your journey. Class of 2021, at this time, I would like for you to stand. I am proud to say that I'm part of South Gibson County High School, and I hope you've also felt the pride of being a Hornet. At this time, as you officially move from candidates to graduates, I respectfully ask one final task of each of you. Members of the SGCHS Class of 2021, please turn your tassels. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you South Gibson County High School's Class of 2021. Y'all remain at your seats for just a moment. Do collect your cap. You're going to need it as you march out. We appreciate your attendance tonight and support of our seniors. As we conclude our ceremony, we want to keep our graduates, family, and friends as safe as possible. At this time, we ask that you please stand for the recessional and remain in your designated area until the seniors have left the football field. We ask that you keep social distancing guidelines in mind as you exit the stadium.
Oh my God, do not!
Bring you walking fast, take it like
It is! This is the best day of my life. We're gonna go walking break.
I was probably supposed to walk on that side. It's fine. It's fine. But you already walked the wrong way.
Because it's too big.
We made it! Have your bell, by the way, it's up there.
Okay, thank you. Watch the graduation.
Do the shit! And then...
Watching at home. Oh.
Where you doing?
Am I going the wrong way? Jacob Dad is just about to die.
Do it. Then I looked around and then I saw everybody else like grab their hat. And I was like, oh, okay.